A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers. Kid ain't finished here yet. That's it. A few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place. The shard's got enough juice to spruce up any of these places. Ain't never letting go of his old friend with a sturdy grip like that. The city tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan. Ankle gators used to roam the wilds, and they nested at Rothes Lagoon. Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here. All kinds of beasts what don't know up from down, still lurking about. Only the city's brushers knew their way around the lagoon. Even the brushers learned to fear this place. They used to think that ankle gators were extinct. Well, they ain't. One of them's been living in the tall grass. They called her Queen Anne. The lagoon's got plenty of other dangers, of course. Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things. Know what smells worse than an ankle gator's breath? The stinkweed. Ain't time for pecker hunting. But the kid can't resist. Can't fight Queen Anne without the proper tools. The brushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same. Most of those peckers are smart enough to stay out of Queen Anne's way. cushion's been living off the ankle gator scraps. Queen Anne can't fit down some of these narrow paths. Queenie leads the kid into some kind of twisted trap. One bad step in that tall grass and he's Queen Anne's lunch. He holds his ground. Seems the queen's running out of options. Still no sign of the shard. The closer you get to an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. Kid's gotta make a run for it. Those leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid. Must have scared a bunch of peckers out of hiding. Ankle gators don't much care for their young. That's why there ain't many around. Wanna know how to find an ankle gator lair? They use a kid as bait. The shard's sitting in plain view. Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. They say if you run across an ankle gator, you better keep running. He's got it, and now to finish her off. Starting to get annoyed. And now he's made her mad. Rest in peace, Queen Anne. That was for the brushes. Kid's done what needed to be done. Queen Anne's reign is over. We even got a crown jewel. All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what? It was worth it. That gator's a crazy gal, but so is the gal who promised to look after her. saying much, but that's the greatest forge in all the city. They said Queen Anne was just a folktale. Now there's living proof she ain't. To fix a brusher's pike, you just need a good length of knife bark. Want to keep the wilds at bay? Pack yourself a musket and a pike. The next shard should be farther out there in the wilds. Know how Ceylondia became the richest city in the world? 2 words. Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it was gonna happen right here. But now, the greatest outpost past the city line is nothing but a freak show. The army's triggers once had the place on lockdown. Might as well pick up where they left off. Blam! Just like my fighting days. Gun like that can even put the wilds in check. Point Lemaine seen better days for sure, but it ain't done. Place shudders in a fit. The grand rail of Point Lemaine, not only is it still there, it still works. Of course, it's no longer shipping hides and alloys and spices, but it can give the kid a lift. Just as long as it can stay clear of the trouble on the tracks. So much as one of those things slip by. Lunkheads settled in like they own the place. Not much wiggle room up there near the rail. Fancy footwork on the rail, what with wallflowers, coughing fungus everywhere. Only one way to cure a cough like that. closed off, but now it's split open like a rotten pineapple. Of course, the grand rails seen much more fighting in bygone times. Near on 50 years ago, first shots fired in the Ura-Selandian War. It was right here that Zolf's Ura forefathers decided to mix it up. Okay, so maybe we didn't get their sign-off on the whole Grand Rail thing. That was bad. The rail must have shook the Ura to the bone down in those dens of theirs. Well, the rail won't last much longer now that the kid took the shard. It's still got one good run in store for him, though. All the rotten wood there on the rails turned it into swamp weed central. Tried dancing side to side while holding your breath, while shooting a genuine registered army carbine, while choking on swamp weed, while peckers trying to prick you in the eye. Well, let me tell you, it ain't fun. He's got company up at the rail station, waiting for him. Not just another wallflower or pincushion like it. At first, he thinks it's Zolf. Turns out he's wrong. This is for you, says the man. Then wham! When the kid comes to, the man's long gone, but something else is there. The only words the kid recognizes on that parchment are for Zia. Well, what's a kid to do? He took the shard, he took the hit, and he took that note. That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it? It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place. We need an awful big lost and found under the circumstances. Finding gourmet ingredients ain't easy these days, but we'll take what we can get. Kid arrives just in time to sample Zia's famous cooking. Zolf's messenger was one of his people. Wondered just how many of them survived, and what exactly Zolf told him. The note says it plain. Zia, go east to learn the truth about the calamity and our people. I'll be waiting. Sincerely, Zolf. He wolfs down too much too fast, and it all goes to his head. I've said a lot about the kid, but he ain't the only one wrapped up in all this. What's he thinking? Well, let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once. Once there was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the Tassel terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Soциальные. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. The mama passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father. Her father was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's manses. His daughter barely saw him. told her nothing of them answers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. At first, she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city. One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him. To take him to a family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals. When the young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language, her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out. Now, where were we? The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult. It was then that she decided to escape. The two of them could flee the city together and go to the Tassel terminals. They would hide inside a garbage bin until it got ingested by a scumbag, then let him slosh on out of the city for disposal. But the authorities were already there when that scumbag sidled up to the city walls. The young man had sent the authorities a tip, told him her father was using her to sell secrets to the Tassel terminals. father got a deal. Return to work for the Mansers, and she'd go free.
I dig my hole, you build a wall.
Before they parted ways for the last time, her father whispered a desperate plea. Hurry home to the den and lock yourself in.
One day that wall is gonna fall. Don't build that city on a hill. Don't build that city on a hill. Someday those tears are gonna spill. So build that wall and build it strong, 'cause we'll be there before too long.
She did as she was told, and deep down underground inside that den, she found a journal written in her father's hand.
Gonna build that wall up to the sky. Someday your bird is gonna fly. Gonna build that wall until it's done. Gonna build that wall.
The next day, the door to the den turned to ash. The girl came up for air, and she saw the calamity all around her. When the kid wakes up, his world's still in pieces, just the way he left it. Now he can shoot that Fang Repeater all day long. The shards are getting harder to find. Not everything blew up in the calamity. Why, Cauldron here blew up way ahead of its time. The Cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago. They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes with molten rock. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt. So in a way, the beasts of the wilds, they're all survivors too. Best to keep out of the Cauldron. It takes a certain stubborn pride to keep on living in a place like this. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Cauldron. The raw power of the world fell right into our hands. with that natural curiosity now, can you? Playing with the Cauldron's fires became an addiction. Sure, we dusted off a good many secrets out here. But we discovered other things we're better off not knowing. The unforgiving scent of sulfurous dirt. Taste the air so hot it sticks to your lungs. All sorts of awful things crawling underfoot. You can cook those things, but you can't eat them. Never thought we'd find so much life in all that ash. Kept on sifting through the Cauldron secrets anyway. Swept aside, the more life we found. Place as inhospitable as they come. Still we pressed on. After all, when we look down inside Cauldron, look down through all the smoke and flames, we saw in there the heart of the world, the heart now laid bare by the calamity. We had to have it. As for the kid, he just has to get that shard out of there. Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Johnson Bar. Kid's thinking he's got to trek all the way back around the Cauldron. Luckily, the Cauldron cooked up a little shortcut for him. Sure, it ain't the most convenient path. Biggest stink eye he's ever seen's waiting for him on the other side. Well, it ain't polite to stare. Where there's one stink eye, there's always more. The Cauldron's tenants all gather up to bid the kiddo farewell. The kid don't shed any tears for him though. With a good spyglass, you can still see the Cauldron from the city. But all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it. It comes back looking like the inside of a chimney. We're all a little short on friends these days, so that's a welcome sight. The shard works like a charm. You can hear the monument's heartbeat again. Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve. Jade's so sour it'll perk you right up when you're feeling low. The culture, a still life of old unwanted keepsakes. They said the wild could never be tamed, if only they could see us now. At least it won't get cold round here with that thing around. On the inside, a fire bellows ain't nothing like its more popular air-spitting cousin. That's the way to make every shot count. Have a fine old cookout with that stuff. Too bad that's not the plan. A Kobe.